If you know a business owner that wants to rank higher on Google Maps and get more customers without spending money on paid ads, there is no bigger lever you can pull than to have as many Google reviews as possible. The problem is, as we know, most happy customers don't bother to leave a review. In fact, it's usually the unhappy ones, or worse yet, spam, that ends up on your Google business profile. And if you don't have a system like this in place to get as many positive reviews as possible, as well as flag spam reviews, those few negative reviews will have a disproportionate impact on your overall star rating. This will cause you to rank lower, get less clicks, and ultimately, less new customers. So in this video, I'm going to show you step by step how you can set up your own fully automated Google review system that not only sends review requests to every new customer, it also uses AI to read those reviews and then post unique replies directly to your Google business profile. This creates a flywheel effect where Google starts to rank you higher, which brings in more new customers. Those new customers leave more reviews, and so on and so forth. This is why some companies have thousands of reviews, while others might not even have 100, even if they've been in business longer. So let's solve this problem right now. If you'd like to follow along click by click, you can grab a free trial to the software I'm using, or if you'd like me to set this up for you, there's a link for us to work together as well. All right, so this system is comprised of 3 main components. We're going to set them up one by one. The first part is automatic review requests. So these are going to go out automatically via text and email. This is one of the configuration screens for the email. Here's a config screen for the text. Then there's going to be the website widget. Now, this is a banner that lives on your homepage and updates in real time with all the latest reviews. Now, this is very important because if you just have pictures on your website of old reviews, that can actually work against your credibility because you're not really showcasing what's going on right now in the business. And this can be installed on any website. It's just a snippet of code that gets dropped in. The last part here is the AI-powered review replies. Now, this one is huge because it not only signals to Google that you're engaged in your Google business profile, which is one of the major signals used for ranking, it also shows new potential customers that you care about your online reputation and that you'll more than likely want to resolve any issues that might come up versus risking getting a negative review. Remember, guys, consumer trust is at an all-time low and your competition is just one click away. You need everything going for you that you possibly can, so when people are shopping around, you get the click and you get the sale. All right, so part 1, review requests. Let's dive in here. Once you log into the software, this is my white label version of GoHighLevel. Like I said, 30-day free trial, link in the description. Come on down here to reputation. Click on that. And the first thing you're going to want to do is come up here to settings. Click on settings. You want to make sure that you are connected to your Google business profile. So you want to come down here to integrations. Now there is a boatload of other platforms that you can manage reviews with. That's outside the scope of this video. We're just going to talk about Google reviews for now. So here, Google business profile. Now mine's already connected, but you're going to go to settings, scroll down to Google business profile right here. And here's where you would connect to that. All you're going to do is basically log in. When you go through 2-factor, you'll probably have to do that to log into your Google account. So once that's connected, you want to come up here and verify that your review link is connected. So you come here to Google, you want to drop down and make sure that your Google business profile page is selected here. So you can hit save for that. Now the system's connected. The next step for this, we want to configure our text message templates and our email templates that are going to go out. So I had one here I made previously, but you can just hit create new. You can do from scratch or do from template. Hit select. Basically choose these different types of review request messaging that's going to go out via text. Okay. Up here, you can choose when are we going to send the text message. There's an automation that we're going to set up in a minute that will trigger this as well. Because you can fire these reviews kind of 2 ways. You can do it manually from the mobile app, or the system can send a review request if you mark the customer as sold. So for example, if you have a tech out on a job site, as soon as they finish the job, you say, hey, we're all finished up. It's all good. Mind if we send you a review request? They can trigger it right there. You also have an option for a QR code. We're going to get to that in just a second. All right, here you can choose how often you want to repeat. And if they don't click, right, repeat this every 3 days, 1 week, 15 days, and then a maximum number of retries if you do choose to repeat the request. You don't want to bother people too much. Probably once, right, when the job is done, and then maybe again in a few days if they don't reply. The same thing here with the emails. You just want to set up your template here of what those emails are going to look like. You don't need to reinvent the wheel. You can go right here, create from template, right? You can put in your logo, edit this. It's just drag and drop, super easy. And it's already going to fill in all this information about the customer. It's going to have your company name in here. And this link will take them right to your Google business profile. All right. Now, one quick step before we go a little farther. You will see a lot of people out there talking about review gating, where you essentially ask someone to send a review. And if they choose like 4 stars or higher, you actually send them to Google. And if you choose less than 4 stars or whatever, it asks them, hey, do you want to talk to the business owner or whatnot? You are not allowed to do that. Okay. That's a quick way to get your Google business profile banned, as well as doing what they call review harvesting or review database activation, where you send out a review request in bulk to all of your customers all at once, and you get a whole slew of reviews in on Google. Google looks at review velocity, and you can verify this if you want. That's another way that they're going to flag them as fake reviews, because if you hardly get a lot of reviews and suddenly you get a whole bunch, that's going to flag the system. And the last thing that can hurt you is if you have repetitive replies. If you're copying and pasting the same exact reply to every review, that's not going to really help you. The algorithm doesn't like it, and neither do people that look at your profile. If they see you're copying and pasting the same response, it doesn't look good. This is why we want to use the AI to reply, and we'll get to that in just a minute. All right, so back into here. So once you set up your email and text message templates and they're looking good the way you want, you can come in here and depending, like if you have a brick and mortar or you want to print this QR code out on something, you can absolutely do that. Now, what you can do that is in compliance, that's not going to flag you for review gating, is send people to a page where it simply asks them. Now, this is a template, but just an example here where it says, hey, did you have a good experience with our product, right? And then it gives them the chance to leave a review or say, I still need help. This is the best way to go for you and your customer, because if they are needing your help with something that's outstanding, you want to get them back on the line, get things resolved. This gives them the opportunity to go ahead and do that, right? Before they leave a review. So that way, when they do leave a review, they can say, oh yeah, they helped me fix XYZ thing. And if everything's good, they can click leave a review here. Then it takes them to the Google Business Profile, and they should be leaving a good review by default here because you already gave them the option previously to ask you for help. This is compliant, asking them to leave a review first, and then based on the star rating, sending them one way or another, that is in compliant, right? So just letting you know, you can kind of review gate, if you will, but this is a value added way to actually help your customers versus just trying to harvest only 5-star reviews. All right, so back to here, let's jump in here. So this next section, the QR code, if you have a brick and mortar or a local tabletop counter, whatever that you want to print this out and let people scan it with their phones, you can absolutely do that. And this will also take them to either your Google review page or to that opt-in page that I just showed you, however you want to set it up. Now, spam reviews. You definitely want to turn on the spam review filter, right? Automatically detects whether incoming review is spam or not. So this is going to do a number of things here. All new incoming reviews will be automatically detected if they're spam. Users will have control to override the decision taken by the system. Automatic review replies will not be sent for spam detected reviews, and scheduled review replies can be stopped by manually marking a review as spam. Spam detected reviews will not show up in the review widget, and spam detected reviews will not be added in the overview dashboard. Okay. So even if you don't get the review removed by Google, sometimes, they're paying the button, they don't work with you. At least the widget, which you do have control over on your homepage, is not going to be scrolling any of that stuff. If people go to your website and look at that, you have control over how that gets filtered. All right, so let's jump into the second item here, the website widget. So again, totally customizable. You've got templates here, all different kinds. Grab one of these guys. Now it doesn't show the actual reviews in the preview here, so I'll try to zoom in on this to see if you can kind of see what it looks like. So they're going to come across this way, right? Same deal, you could do dark, you can do top to bottom here, right? So however you feel like you want this to go out, again, it doesn't have to be rocket science. This is just going to scroll on your homepage, probably right below the hero section would be ideal. And all you have to do to install this is drop this little snippet of code, you hit copy code here, and you can put that right in the header section. That'll connect your widget. And then lastly, for the automatic replies, back to settings, use AI, and you'll see you have off, suggestive, and auto response. The first thing you want to do is create an agent, and then we want to set up how that agent behaves. So I have a couple agents in here already, but we'll just create another one so you can see. So these are pre-configured for different types of reviews, and you can have multiple agents. So for example, an agent that replies to good reviews that are 4 stars or higher. So say, or 3 stars, but say we do 4 stars or above with this Claire Flare here. And then you could do a generated response. You can kind of see how this would apply to a review that comes in, says, thank you, Sophia. We're pleased our team delivered a welcoming professional experience and upheld our high standards. We look forward to serving you again and welcome any feedback to help us continually improve, right? And then you could have one say, if someone does go through, leaves a negative review instead of actually clicking through to say they need help, you'll have an agent in here that replies accordingly. So this would be Grace Space, for example. You could say replies for 2 stars or below. You'll see what that negative review reply looks like. All right, I'm truly sorry if any part of your visit fell short of expectations. I genuinely appreciate you highlighting our welcoming professional staff. Now notice it did accommodate the positive thing that the person may have left here. So it's not just going to be negative throughout. It's going to be always in context with what they say. If there's anything we can do to make your next visit even better, please contact us directly. We're committed to improving and ensuring. So here's the problem though. You never want to do this. You don't want to be putting out fires in the reviews. This is a business operations issue here. This is why you want that page that gives people the opportunity to get their issues resolved before they leave a review. So that way, by the time they get to the review, it's always going to be a 4 or 5 star, but you can have this agent here just in case. Now we say, all right, let's create a campaign. So say we want to do, we'll just call it default. Only reply to reviews older than 14 days. Now here's where you can dial things in so that way you don't actually get flagged by Google for bulk responses. If you come in here, you can set this frequency for a maximum amount of reviews per day. So if you say, hey, I want to go in and reply to all the reviews that are currently on my profile older than 14 days, you can come in here, set how often you want to do that, and then you can set a time window, right? Because if your business isn't open at 2:00 in the morning, you don't want reviews going out at 2:00 in the morning. Again, Google doesn't like that kind of stuff. And right down here, you can choose your agents out of the 2 that we just created, and you can hit create drip campaign. I don't have any eligible reviews, but the campaign would launch if you had those on your Google business profile. So with both the automatic replies set up for new incoming reviews and a proper campaign set up to not spam the system trying to get old reviews dialed in, you'll be in good shape. What you don't want to do though is send out a bulk review request to a ton of people and get a ton of new reviews in at once. Does Google knock out everyone's profile? No, but you just really don't want to risk losing your Google business profile. That can literally put some people out of business. So there's a few other bells and whistles in here. You've got stats that'll come in over time. You can actually analyze your competitors' Google business profiles and see what you rank. There's Google business profile optimization in here where you can go through and score your own. So a ton of other stuff in the software. Like I said, you can grab that link below, or if you want, I have a school community where I have all the links to everything that you would need to get this set up. It's absolutely free. There's 430 people in here now. You can message me if you'd like. We get you set up and going. Or like I said, if you want me to just set this up for you, there's a link below. And if you'd like to learn how to set up a voice AI receptionist, click this video right here. Click this video, voice AI receptionist, answer the phone 24 hours a day. You can set your Google business profile to be open 24 hours a day, which will also rank you higher, get more calls and more customers and more money. That's what you want, more money. Right there's money, buddy. Money.